Sri Bimal Bora, Minister, Industry, Commerce, Public Enterprise, Government of Assam. Sri S. Raman, CMD, SIDBI. Sri S.P. Singh, CEO, SBCL. Sri Sandeep Barma, CEO, TMSC. Sri Samir Kumar Sinha, Principal Secretary, Finance, Government of Assam. Dr. Lakshmanan S., Secretary to the Government of Assam, Industry and Commerce Department. I feel immensely delighted to be present at this conclave dedicated to the micro, small and medium enterprise. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt greetings to all the entrepreneurs and business leaders joining today in this conclave. A few minutes ago, CGTMSC, Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprise, and SIDBI have signed 2 Memorandum of Understanding with the state government for Assam Credit Guarantee Scheme and establishment of Assam Startup Venture Fund. I highly appreciate the collaboration of CGTMSC and SIDBI with the Government of Assam in lending a major boost towards developing the MSME and startup ecosystem in the state. I also take this opportunity to speak a few words about the MSME sector in Assam and how we are working to make it a vibrant sector of the economy. As we know, micro, small and medium enterprise do not just provide means of livelihood to millions of people in our country, they are an important part of our economy. After agriculture, the MSME is the second largest employment generating sector. With minimum capital investment, the MSME ensure maximum employment generation in comparison to large industries. With unique characteristics like low risk entry, flexibility, innovation and creativity, the MSME help in industrialization of both rural and urban areas. This way, MSMEs assure equitable distribution of income, wealth and economic development. In Assam, there are more than 66,000 industries which contribute 29% of the state GDP. Out of this industrial unit, 88% is micro, 11.5% is small and medium industries. This means that MSME constitute 99.5% of the industrial sector of the state. I am happy to inform you that during 2016 to 2021, 32,770 MSMEs were established in Assam. Out of this, 13,440 enterprises are engaged in production sector, where 1,30,294 youth have got employment. On the other hand, 19,330 MSMEs are engaged in service sector, which provide job to another 1,32,263 youths of Assam. The MSMEs are profusely contributing to the state economy in different sectors. Many places are even identified by the name of MSMEs located there. For instance, when we talk about Sorthebari, the image that instantly comes to our mind is its bell metal industry. Similarly, Swalkusi has become synonymous with its handloom industry. The traditional firework industry gives a distinct identity to Borpeta. The brass industry of Haju, painted woodwork of Golaghat, can and bamboo products that are produced in different parts of the state add more glory to to the MSME sector of the state. The MSMEs are our heritage, our tradition, and are an important part of our lives. Therefore, promoting the rich tradition and heritage of our MSME sector is our responsibility. Our government is moving forward with sincerity in extending best possible support to this sector. Here I also appreciate our entrepreneurs for their commendable efforts in making MSMEs a vibrant sector of the economy. Due to our committed endeavors in adopting digital transaction, aligning and upgrading the units with new infrastructure like e-commerce and enhancing competitiveness by experimenting with new ideas, that today our state has been able to make significant strides in the economic front. We understand that COVID-19 pandemic had badly hit the MSME sector with disruption of supply chain and also low market demand. This led to the closure of several units, loss of employment and livelihood for the workers. But the rupees 20 lakh stimulus package by the Union government under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan has been a great help in reviving and boosting the MSME sector. Payment of EPF contribution by the Government of India has also been a big relief to the MSMEs. In our state, over rupees 2,000 crores has been sanctioned for the MSMEs under the Emergency Credit Loan Guarantee Scheme. During the pandemic, our government had also been issued relaxation, allowing all industries to function and operate without need of special permission. However, I believe that in order to create an ecosystem where MSMEs can thrive and contribute to the growth of the state, there are a lot more to be done. That aspiring entrepreneurs get capital easily, get loans at cheaper rate. There is regular cash flow and availability of market are some vital areas directly affecting the growth of MSME sector. These areas have been our priority. For our MSME, we want to ensure increased share on e-commerce platform, accessibility for technology upgradation, enhanced ease of doing business, and minimum government interference, as well as sense of security for the employees. Following the principle of minimum government and maximum governance, our government is striving to provide the entrepreneurs hassle-free accessibility to resource at every stage. Our government is committed to promote a culture of entrepreneurship and convert job seekers to job creators. We want to transform Assam into a major industrial hub. Keeping this goal in mind, our government has been taking certain concrete steps. In order to create a business-friendly environment in the state, our government introduced Assam MSME Facilitation of Establishment and Operation Act in 2020. This act provides relief and support to entrepreneurs from long procedure of approval. Under this act, MSME can establish without obtaining any NOC permission clearance except fire and environment and operate for 3 years. After expiry of 3 years, the unit have to take approval within 6 months. The Assam Ease of Doing Business Amendment Act 2020 has enabled auto-renewal of all clearance based on self-declaration upon payment of prescribed fee. I am happy to inform you that our state is one of the best states in the country in terms of industrial friendly environment with 98.9% clearance in EODB portal. Today, if you look at our EODB portal, we ensure that 99% we achieve 99% disposal rate. So I'd like to urge upon our MSME sector to use the portal more and more, and you will see that things are disposed in no point of time. In fact, in monthly cabinet meeting, we collectively look at our portal, we see how much pending cases are there, and then instruction is issued to concerned minister to dispose the application in no point of time. Our government has taken a step to repeal and amend primitive rules and regulations which may not have relevance today. We have also simplified the land-related laws and policies and empowered key officials to take on-the-spot decisions. In fact, today in our assembly, we are going to repeal almost 400 obsolete laws today evening. I think by today evening, we are going to obsolete 400 repeal laws subject to the approval of assembly. Apart from that, we are working for reduction of criminal burden. So after repealing is done, whatever act will remain, then we'll go one by one, we'll see that how the criminal liability or criminal burden can be reduced to create a business-friendly atmosphere in state. And we want to make civil liability rather than criminal liability so that industry can start working with a better ecosystem. Here I feel proud to say that the startup movement in Assam has also made remarkable progress in a very short period of time. The startup journey has picked up tremendous pace in recent years. It has generated much hope and opened new opportunities for our youth. Recently, in a major success, in the state startup ranking 2020, Assam startup has been recognized as a leader category A in the developing a strong startup ecosystem in the state by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Government of India. This has been a steep progression from its previous recognition of being an emerging startup ecosystem. So this year we have moved from emerging startup ecosystem to the leader category, and hopefully next 2 or 3 years we will move further. The state has further been acknowledged as a mentorship champion for building a large mentorship network for startups. It is indeed an encouraging achievement for the youths of Assam to take up entrepreneurship in a much larger scale. We are also investing in power generation and grid strengthening. Last year, our peak hour power generation demand was 1900 megawatts, and last month our peak hour generation has moved up to 2600 megawatts. So this is an increase of 600 megawatts in a span of 9 to 10 months. And we are trying to make available power supply as much as possible. Recently, we have done one MoU with Neyveli Lignite Corporation for 1000 megawatt solar power. And this month itself will sign another MoU with another public sector undertaking for another 1000 megawatt of solar power. Apart from that, we are also in a process of signing PPA for 1200 megawatts more power from various available resources in our country. So we anticipate that our power generation will reach 4000 megawatts in next 3 years, and we are trying to coping up with that demand. Our grid is being improved constantly, and we are working in that. And I am sure that even on the power sector, right from getting immediate connection and also to an affordable power tariff, lot of change state will see in next 1 or 2 years to come. In continuation to our efforts to boost the MSME, today, state government has signed MOUs with CGTMSC for Assam Credit Guarantee Scheme and with SIDBI Venture Capital Limited to establish Assam Startup Venture Fund. We have also launched Assam Logistics and Warehousing Policy today before I begin my speech. Here I would like to highlight few important aspects of Memorandum of Understanding which I am sure will give a significant boost to the MSME sector in the state. The collaboration with Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprise aims at providing additional guarantee coverage for the loan given by the lending institute to the micro and small units in Assam. In the present schemes, banks are expected to get back 80% of the loan amount provided to MSME on the default, on if they become default or they become NPA. Today, we have signed an MoU basically to cover the balance 20%. So today, if a MSME sector take loan, and we do not want it to be default, but for some reason it gets defaulted or it's become NPA, bank can surge 100% of the credit to the Credit Guarantee Fund of SIDBI. So this MoU will bring lot of confidence in our lending institute, because for a bank it is important to have confidence that if somehow my loan become NPA, how we'll go, where we'll go. So once you start legal process, immediately 75% can be surged on the guarantee fund, and of course in other, they are subject to other procedure, we can get back the balance 25% also. For the additional 20%, state government is contributing 100 crore today. We are basically giving a corpus support of 100 crore so that it can lead to a portfolio creation of additional portfolio creation, and basically state government has to provide 25 crore in next 2 to 3 years each, and we will keep on funding. So our request will be that let banks get that confident that now you have somewhere to look at, you have you have an institution to fall back, like Mudra. Today you can fall back to SIDBI for recovering your credit if somehow it becomes NPA. Although in this hall we don't want anybody to become NPA, so that is our primary. But as a insurance or as a last resort, from today this guarantee fund will be there and you can always fall back there. MoU on Startup Venture Capital Fund is again one of the unique initiatives we are doing, we are embarking upon today. The SIDBI Venture Capital Fund intends to work as an investment manager for the proposed Assam Startup Venture Capital Fund. So this is a unique to Assam. Basically, with this contribution, we are giving a contribution of 100 crore. SIDBI is giving contribution of 50 crore. NetFee has already assured a contribution of 25 crore. And there are other organizations like Oil India, Numaligarh will be able to bring more corpus, more fund to this, basically in this scheme, so that they can help our startup. They can, together we can create a Assam Startup Venture Fund, from where our startup can get at least against the equity, at least they can take up to rupees 2 crores also against good projects. I think then we'll have lot of our ecosystem gets much stronger in that case. Today, banks do not give them fund because we do not know that how they will do. With this Assam Venture Capital Fund, 200 crores in the time, I envisage that this we can go up to rupees 500 crores in days to come. And with that 500 crores, we can keep on supporting our startup, basically our young friends who are working in startup area. and this will be actually boost confidence among the youth who are in various level of incubation today. So I urge both SIDBI and our industry department to come out with a guideline immediately. The state government contribution will be placed immediately on your requisition. We'll do that. Please put good human resource who can work with our startup and they can get the fund for developing their startup to a nice enterprise. So I think in these two areas we can work quickly. On bank, of course, credit guarantee fund cannot be succeeded unless banks comes out with more confidently, and I am sure that from today banks will have a confidence to support our MSME sector. Of course, this is not a platform, but till I just want to place one or two facts before this audience, and particularly for the bankers. Recently, the CGM SBI came to me that lot of NPA is happening in KCC. So, as in my habit, if some problems comes to me, then I try to go on deep and deep, because how it happened. Then I try to earmark where those KCCR gets defaulted. Then I found these are typical areas of Assam. And on my inquiry, I found that banks used to do KCC through various brokers. The broker used to collect the application of KCC and banks give them funded. So that nexus we have to broken. Unless that nexus exists, you cannot blame on the people who have get defaulted. Because if KCC is 20,000, if in taking in the process of KCC you get 5,000 as a commission, then obviously no farmers will be able to return. So I have now at least 20 instances after that meeting which I have zeroed on, and I found that most of the things KCC were distributed in that fashion. I am trying to give caution to my bankers also. Even in microfinance we have seen the same story. It is because of the nexus, Assam got a bad name. If you load 1 lakh rupees to a tea garden worker whose total daily income is 232 rupees today, then you blame the NPA is happening, then it will not work on that front. So that is why it is very, very important to select that banks should work like today in state government. We are bringing whole lot of transparency. I think today also one officer has been arrested in taking bribe. So far I think we are going to charge 100 now. I think on bank also that kind of transparency we want, that the successful people should be helped repeatedly so that they can progress. Banks should create lot of workshops, lot of try to identify the talent, and then you should give the loan. We should not work through somebody else. If we work through somebody else, then we come into the problem, and Assam become categorized as a bad state. Now when you give a report to Agriculture Minister, he will say Assam is in NPA. Now we don't know how these people become NPA. Who are those people? We don't know. So it is important to know those people. And Assam, there are a particular section of people, I can tell you in privately, do not give them loans. Somebody's intention is only to cheat the government. I mean, you all know whom I am referring to. We must be restrained on doing so. Even in last MSP, we found that when rice procurement was done without involving state government, 5 or 6 CBI inquiry has been ordered. But today, the rice procurement is being done, FCI is doing in collaboration with the state government. In entire state, there is a big euphoria. We could give support to 5 lakhs, I think we procured this time 5.5 lakhs of metric ton of rice with MSP. I know in Nagaon, 1 or 2 this incident has happened. I am trying to locate those things also. But generally, Now village, like today after recruitment, people are saying yes, yes, we have got recruitment. Like in MSP also, people are showing their passbook, we are getting money, money, money. FCI is giving reimbursing, this thing is reimbursing. Because they have worked first time after 75 years of independence with the state government. The moment you work isolation, the moment you work in isolation and out of the state government knowledge, then you are bound to fail, because then the role of state government is taken over by some middleman. As long as state government become your facilitator, state government become your guide, state government becomes your kind of a friend, philosopher, guide, you are secure and safe. The moment you want to do things in isolation, you are bound to fail, because we know which are the area, who are the people, whom to trust, whom not to trust, whom need more training, who are the people who need to be put on waiting list, who are the people who need to be straightway given into the merit list. So we have developed that technology or expertise. So I'll urge bank that let us work together the way this time FCI work with us together, and we could produce result. Next year we are going to touch more beneficiary, more number. I think this is the way we have to work, and then we are going to be 100% we are going to be successful. I request industry department that as a next step, we should try to come out with another scheme for MSME of interest subvention, so that we can give a clear interest subvention to MSME, and then whatever capital subsidy in our state industrial policy we have promised, that should be given back immediately. So if we can give timely capital subsidy which we have promised in our industrial policy, that should be given. And second, some kind of good in the interest subvention scheme. I think that will, with credit guarantee scheme, interest subvention, and a decent flow, regular flow of capital subsidy, can create lot of entrepreneurs. Lot of entrepreneurs will come up to take up challenges. Once again, I'd like to request SIDBI, banks, our MSME industry department to work closely along with our startup entrepreneurs, so that both this MoU we can make into reality, and both this MoU can become a solid foundation for the growth of our state. Coming back to SIDBI again, that this time, for the first time, we are going to take that some amount as a loan from SIDBI to develop our industrial ecosystem, to develop power supply to our industrial estate, to strengthen our industrial estate. We are in process of submitting a list for credit support of 1,000 crore. I hope that SIDBI will sanction that immediately, and all these 1,000 crore will immediately put for the development of our industrial estate, for streamlining power supply to our industrial estate, and creating road network to our industrial estate. So Falcam will be our industry, and then we'll invest that amount. I think that scheme also we need to do quickly. We have 3 partnerships. One, that loan amount to the state government for infrastructure, that is one partnership. Second, partnership for the credit guarantee. Third, partnership with on startup. Let us work on these 3, and I am sure that these will give a much encouragement to our MSME sector. Thank you so much.